Welcome to my channel. Now I don't want to get too close because I'll disturb it, but there's a pigeon on my Leycesteria formosa eating those berries and it's enjoying them very much. This beautiful tall plant arrived in my garden from a bird dropping, and although it's classed as an invasive plant in Australia and New Zealand, and it is a bit of a thug if it's not kept in check, it really is attractive and gives me months of pleasure, not only for my eyes but for wildlife too. It's deciduous and grows these cane-like hollow stems, and when it flowers from about May it has pendulous white flowers nestled under its dramatic purpley burgundy coloured bracts, which put on a show while the berries develop and ripen. It's also known as the Himalayan honeysuckle, pheasant berry, flowering nutmeg, granny's curls, chocolate berry and treacleberry, and that's not even a comprehensive list, as it's known regionally by many other names, such as in China gun barrel, hollowwood, wild lupine, golden chicken and lock, and in Pakistan as jamar. In the regions of India, Pakistan and China, where it grows natively, it's used for making flutes and whistles, but also has a lot of medicinal uses, such as treating dandruff and killing hair lice, also to cure measles, and to treat asthma, traumatic bleeding, cystitis and fracture damage. But what of the berries? There seems to be a little reticence to call them edible or to publish recipes online, although I've just bought a fantastic new foraging book published in 2021 by David Hamilton called Where the Wild Things Grow, and he has been brave enough to put it in writing that they are edible, with the usual disclaimers, which I'll reiterate, that people should be very careful about their own tolerance and reactions. I managed to just snip out and pick a few, as the pigeons have got most of the ripe ones, but there were some ripe ones there. Now, if they're not ripe, they're incredibly bitter, but when they're ripe, they taste sweet. They're called chocolate berries, but that's because of the colour. They look a little bit purpley here, but in true light they take on a very chocolatey hue. And you know when they're ripe because they'll be slightly squishy and they're very, very easy to pop. As you can see here, it's getting very extremely juicy, and when they're not ripe they'll just be hard, but if you taste this, it's just the sweetest berry. It's caramelly, but there's that bitter slight molasses flavour at the end of it. I haven't really got enough here to do anything with at the moment, so I'm going to see how well they freeze and collect a few more and just see if freezing them preserves their shape a little bit more. I've just been giving them a quick rinse and dry off with some paper towel before I put them in the freezer. Over a few days I've managed to pick 85 grams of chocolate berries, and I froze them, and they've frozen pretty hard, so they seem quite stable in their frozen state. So I'm going to keep them frozen while I prepare my recipe and put them in frozen, so hopefully they retain their shape. I have looked online for a few different recipes, and one of the recipes I found was fig rolls, substituting the chocolate berries for the figs, and it did say that if you eat too many it can give you quite a loose bowel, so I'm not going to put too many in this recipe, but I thought I'd try it just with a few dotted around. I couldn't find many other recipes apart from somebody mentioning that they'd put some into a cake but they'd gone to a mush. So I'm assuming that they're going to be okay, but never having cooked with them before and there not being very many recipes, it's all just a matter of trial and error. I thought I'd start by just making a very simple muffin recipe that you can add all sorts of things to, and I'm just going to make the base mixture to start with. So to start with, you need 1 egg, and I'm going to beat the egg. That should be enough. Then I'm going to stir in 8 ounces of milk. I found in cookery that almond milk is just as good and it gives me just as great results. And the final liquid ingredient, I'm going to use vegetable oil. Now, a lot of muffin recipes use butter, but this one is vegetable oil and it's 2 tablespoons. This is a nice organic rapeseed oil I've got here, obviously from the UK. So just stir that in. Then I'm going to stir in the rest of the ingredients, which is 2 tablespoons of caster sugar. And finally I have 230 grams of self-raising flour. So I'm just going to stir those in, and the recipe says that you should stir it in until it's just still slightly lumpy. I'm not quite sure how lumpy slightly lumpy is, but I'm going to try and make sure that there aren't any pockets of dry flour anyway. But maybe that's what slightly lumpy means. Well, it's lumpy. Now this recipe is supposed to make 12 medium muffins. So it says to fill them to 2/3 full. I didn't want to make 12 chocolate berry muffins because if they didn't work out, that would be a waste. So I'm going to put some chocolate chips in the rest of the mixture. So I've got to separate the mixture out. I'll just put some in a bowl. And that's for my chocolate berry muffins. And I'm just going to put some chocolate chunks in the rest of the mixture. That might be quite fun. So I'm going to fill these now and then come back to my chocolate berries once the oven's ready. Well, my oven's nice and warm now, so I'm just going to pop a few of these into the mixture. I think that will probably be enough. I'll just make sure that they're fully separated. They did mostly keep separated because of drying them out on the kitchen roll to start with. Pop them into there. So it has to be quite a quick process because they're very small and I don't want them to defrost too much before they start cooking. I'm probably not going to get 12 muffins out of this. So I'll just have to remember that it's these three that are the chocolate berry muffins. So they're going to go in the oven now at 180 until they're cooked. I've just taken them out of the oven and they look slightly golden on top, so I'm just going to check and make sure they're cooked with my skewer. Got some chocolate there. Looks like they are. So it says remove from the tin straight away. Hopefully they'll come out fairly easily. Well, those are the chocolate ones. They seem to have come out quite easily. Those are the chocolate berry ones. I can smell those chocolate berries as I'm taking them out. Well, I'm going to let those cool now and come back and do a taster. Well, they've cooled down now, and I'm just going to try this one because it sort of exploded out of the side a little bit, so it doesn't look quite so nice. Cut into it. It's a nice spongy muffin. I'll just take a taste. The sweetness of the chocolate berry seems to have disappeared into the cake, and there's a slight bitterness to the flavour. So I don't suppose it would be to everybody's taste. You can see that the chocolate berry has sort of exploded into the mixture as it's cooked. I wouldn't say that that's a wonderful way of using them, but at least I tried. I'll just try a chocolate one. That's much nicer. Well, that does go to show that not all experiments with foraged foods work. I think the berries are probably best eaten straight off the shrub, but I'll leave most of them for the birds. I hope you enjoyed watching this little excursion into foraging failures. Never mind. Thank you for watching anyway, and hope to see you again soon.